Hi, I'm Matthew from The Critics, without Taliya, who is in Japan, but that isn't stopping us, and this is my review of the BFG, the movie adaptation of Roald Dahl's amazing classic, The Big Friendly Giant. So obviously there's a lot of expectation when you go into a film that is based on something as amazing as Roald Dahl, and there's been a lot of really good films made based off Roald Dahl's work that this film had to follow on from, and had to follow on from films like Matilda, from James and the Giant Peach, to name but two, and those aren't easy films to follow on from. So has it done that? I think for the most part, I think it's done incredibly well. There's a few bits here and there that I think maybe slow the movie down or don't quite make it as good as it could be. But overall, I think this is a very good film. I think this is a very good adaptation. I think it, most importantly, reminds you what it was like to have read a Roald Dahl book. That same imagination and whimsy that you find in a Roald Dahl book comes across in this live adaptation of the BFG. So, well done to Steven Spielberg and everyone else who worked on it. An excellent job. So what were some of the highlights for me? I think the CGI and the world that what they created and the giants and the England that it was set in were all amazingly done. I think the way that they imagined and created the dreams was particularly well done and very beautifully done. And I think that lent itself to some very intimate moments between Sophie, who is the girl, and the BFG. That whilst, and this is maybe my first of the two criticisms, that whilst that I have about the film, and whilst maybe Sophie's performance was a little bit stilted here and there, I think remembering how difficult it is to work in those environments where there's not a lot to actually in the real world that you're acting off against, I think she did a very good job. But I think those moments around the Dream Tree were pretty cool. Obviously, it varies slightly from the book, that's to be expected, but I think it still does a very good job. But most importantly, you still get the main feeling that you would get from reading a Roald Dahl book. There's moments where I was like, oh my word, it doesn't feel like it fits quite in the real world. And that's exactly what a Roald Dahl book is. It's so fantastical that you can't possibly believe that it's actually happening, and yet, or even contemplate that it would happen in the real world, and yet somehow it fits, and it worked in this. I think they time set it well, and I think told the story very well. The other criticism that I have is that nearing the end we get an entire scene that sets itself up for a fart joke, which is a bit slow and is a bit bad in terms of pacing, I feel. And kind of distracts from everything else, but still a very interesting scene. Visually it's very interesting, it doesn't really tell much, doesn't really move the story forward. It's when BFG meets the Queen, but they had not sitting down to have breakfast together. From what I remember of the book, that was in there, but in the movie it slows it down quite a lot. And as I said, ultimately all really just for a fart joke. But having said that, this is a children's story, and children find the fart joke to be the best form of humour. So, remembering that it's for children, I don't think you can be too critical of the fact that it's a fart joke. And as fart jokes go, one of the better executed fart jokes that I've seen in a very long time. So, a little bit slow for those of us, but if you don't find a Roald Dahl, or if you don't find a fart joke funny anymore, at least a well-done fart joke funny anymore, then I'm afraid you're becoming a little bit like the adults that get criticized so often in Roald Dahl's works. So when you get to the scene, just enjoy it for what it is. It's just some humor. It's just some kids' humor. Remember when you were a child and laugh along with it. But overall, the BFG, I think, is an amazing addition to the movies with movies based on Roald Dahl's works. It fits in there well. So that's 2 thumbs from me, and I'll just take it on behalf of Taliya as well. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you've liked it, please click like on the video and subscribe to the channel to see more. You can see our links to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr in the description box below. I'm Matthew from the critics, and this has been my review of the BFG.